Ser Arthur Dayne?
The sword of the morning.
Father said he was the best swordsman he ever saw.
So a couple people recently have written comments suggesting that our boy Beric Dondarrion is wielding the legendary sword Dawn, the ancestral sword of House Dayne, given only to someone deemed worthy of wielding it. I'm not sure if I'm using this term correctly, but I ship Jon and Dawn as much as anyone, since the word dawn is symbolic of the start of a new day, arising from the darkness of a long night. But in this video, I'm going to share some screenshots showing that neither Thoros' sword nor Beric's sword have the same pommel as Dawn. Alright, let's cut to the chase. Back in Season 3, Sandor cuts through Beric's blade, so clearly this was not Dawn. In Season 6, we get a single frame which looks to me like it has a defined angle on the pommel, whereas Dawn's pommel is defined by curves, most likely as a tribute to the moon and the stars, since the sword was allegedly created from the heart of a fallen star. I'll get back to that at the end of the video. And here's the best shot. In Season 7, we can clearly see the pommel of Beric's sword right here. It's definitely not Dawn. So what about Thoros? He sticks his sword into the earth similar to the way that Arthur Dayne did in the Tower of Joy scene, as well as thousands and thousands of other people over the course of the story when they want to put their sword down without having to bend over to the ground to pick it up later on. But the pommel shows us that this is definitely not Dawn. And we saw this back in Season 6 also. Check this out. But who knows? Maybe they brought Dawn up there with them and they're just not showing it to us yet. But I doubt it, and here's why. Some people believe that Ned brought the sword back to Winterfell. At this point in time, I'm not sure there's any evidence of that. Let me know in the comments if you can find something. Personally, I think that Ned brought Dawn back to House Dayne. On top of that, offline, George R.R. Martin has said that Dawn remains at Starfall until another sword of the morning shall arise. That's going to be Jon. So let's think about this. Beric was betrothed to Lady Illyria Dayne of Starfall, but it's doubtful that they gave him the sword before they had even wed. Beric then went to King's Landing to compete in the Hands tourney. Later, he was sent by Ned to arrest or kill Ser Gregor Clegane. So for the rest of the story, him and the Brotherhood were running around the Riverlands fighting for those that cannot protect themselves. The Brotherhood without banners. War sucks for the common folk.
You prey on the weak. The Brotherhood without banners will hunt you down.
But he was killed and raised 6 times. Each time he's resurrected, he comes back less and less Beric. He can't even remember where his castle is or what his fiancée looked like. And there's no evidence of him leaving the Riverlands, traveling down and getting the sword. And considering that he could not even remember what his fiancée looked like, I doubt that she brought the sword up to him.
I don't see many ladies these days.
Lucky for the ladies.
And if she had, I doubt she'd give it to him, since he probably would have come across like a crazy dead person. And you know what? Until today, a piece of me has always figured that Valyrian steel cannot hurt the Night King, but Dawn can. And since it's named Dawn, it seems to be linked to the original Long Night, or maybe the new one. But this morning I thought of something else. Maybe Dawn was Lightbringer, and maybe it will prove to become Lightbringer again. But instead of combusting into flames and then being used to attack someone like the Night King, maybe it becomes Lightbringer at the end when it is shoved through the heart of a figurative star, like Jon.
For the watch.
And the lore about it combusting in a fire might be due to mistranslation. In truth, it might just absorb Jon's fire, so to say, his life.
For the watch.
Because I'm inclined to believe that Jon's birth is what broke a pact. It's the reason the White Walkers are back. Jon's birth may have brought forth the Song of Ice and Fire, releasing magic upon the world. And only by his death will magic and the horrors that come with it fade back into just lore and legend.
He always comes back.